All right, ladies and gents, welcome back. Hopefully, we still got everybody with us here this morning. Again, happy last day of 2020. Like I said this morning, going to be mainly time for everybody to get caught up on everything that they still need. Okay, so the main goal here should be to um, get checkpoint one completed. So I'm going to put that in the chat right now, what it's called. Right. So if you don't already, please have Summit opened up so you can follow along, be working on this today. I'm going to share my screen here and do another quick overview. Now, if you were with us on Friday for last class, then this should look familiar. If not, then make sure you're following along today. And it's also up on the Yes Philly YouTube page as well if you want to go back and watch that recording. Excuse me. But here's what you should have opened up. Okay. We are, again, like I said, on Summit. And you're looking for checkpoint one, reading notes, which should be right here. If you have our class opened up, creative writing, homegoing, right? And then if you click again here for checkpoint one and then reading notes, click right here. Should bring up your page that looks like this. Okay. So one more time, finding our class on Summit, going over here on your year view as always, finding our class creative writing, our project is homegoing, clicking on checkpoint one, reading notes right here, and then clicking right here again, you should bring up this page. All right. So I'll give everybody about a minute or two to pull that up if you haven't already. When you do have it up, please let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or tell me that you got it so I know everybody is on the right page. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. How we doing here? Do we have this pulled up? We still need another minute or so. I'm gonna check the chat. All right. I see nothing in the chat, so we'll give everybody maybe another minute to pull this up. Again, we are going to checkpoint one on Summit. It's called reading notes right here, and then clicking the link at the top, and then your screen should look like mine if you have the correct thing pulled up. So again, take another minute to get there. If you're not already, when you're there, please let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or tell me that you got it so I know everybody is able to pull this up today. If you are having any issues finding this, any issues with Summit, please let me know. If I don't hear from anybody, then I'm going to assume that we are all good to go. All right, Jair got it. Thank you. Selena is there. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while the rest of us are pulling this up, um, I will go over what we're doing on here again real quick. And like I said, if you have been in class with us and you were here Friday, then this should look a little bit familiar to you. If you were not, then I would definitely tune in now. And it will also be up on, it's also up on the Yes Philly YouTube as well. Okay. Uh, so what you can have filled in here is the date 12/22. That's what we filled in last class next to Effie's section, because you can see these are reading notes, right? So we're taking notes on each section of the book. Now, we might not get to each individual section because of our, time wise with the term, we might have to jump around here to finish our whole project, right? The first one is Effie's section. So we put 12/22 because that was today's date, right? Which is when this was due by. Now, I did get it from one or two people, but I don't know if I got it from anybody in here. So that's why we're spending some more time on it today. So the first thing you can have filled in on yours is the date right here, 12/22, if you don't already. And you can also fill it in again down here on top of this box. Now you can see this one says chapter 1, Effia. And then you can see each one is labeled for the different chapters. Now, what we're doing in these three boxes, right, is all spelled out for you up here. So again, in the notes box, this is where we're taking general notes about the chapter. So this is the who, what, when, where of the chapter. You can do this through bullet points. And again, quick tip on making a bullet point. Um, if I hold down shift and I hit the number 8 key, that makes a little star like that. And then if I hit the space bar, boom, now I have a bullet point. And then once I've done that, every time I hit enter, like if I'm up here, it'll make me another bullet point, right? Unless I hit enter twice. Okay. So we can do that, kind of the who, what, when, where, why in the notes section, right? Point of view purpose notes, this is where you analyze the specific point of views or the specific points of view that are brought up in each chapter and how those points of view affect the story as a whole. Analyze what you think the author's purpose was in that chapter. Okay? So this is where you're going to tell me, and I've done this a little bit as kind of like a sentence starter in this section, what point of view is this chapter told from? Um, who is whose perspective do we get, and how does this help the story? How does this impact the story? So, like I said, I've already kind of started this for you here. This section is told from a third-person omniscient point of view. So that's where our review. This is where our review of point of view things that we did comes into play, like first, second, third, so on, and gives us Effie's perspective. The author chooses to use this point of view to help the story by, and then you can fill that in, right? Or you could also write um, because and fill it in that way too, whichever works best for you. I'm going to keep by on mine. All right. So feel free to copy what I have here onto yours, and then you want to add to it to get credit for having this completed, right? And then lastly, in the quotes box is where you're going to find 1 to 3 quotes from the chapter that represent the most important moments of that chapter. So what are the big moments? Find me a quote that kind of sums those up, all right? This last box right here where it says questions and responses, don't worry about that box. We're going to do most of those together or via Nearpod anyway, okay? So these 3 boxes right here, and I'll zoom out in case you want to get these copied onto yours. These 3 boxes right here are what you should have filled in on yours, and then you're going to, like I said, you're going to add to yours, add to what I already have here for you, and that's going to show me that you've done this on your own. So I should see more bullet points here. I should see you've completed this kind of sentence starter, and see maybe 2 or 3 more good sentences here for this one. I should see some quotes in the box down here. All right. Questions about this checkpoint and what you need to do. Or just questions in general. All right. Now, some of you might be thinking, hey, I am a little bit behind. I don't even know if I can answer this checkpoint because I'm still behind on the story itself. That is okay, because I'm going to put some links into the chat to help you out with that and get caught up. So the first thing I'm going to put in is a link to the Nearpod. Now the Nearpod, it has a video that is an audiobook recording of the first chapter that we read. Okay. And then it also has some spots where, and that's the code for the Nearpod as well. It also has some spots where you're going to stop and answer questions. Okay. So you want to make sure that is done. Number one, because it was an assignment that was due for progress report. So if you haven't done it, it's already late. Number two, because it'll help you get caught up on the story and help you out answering the checkpoint. All right. The second link I'm going to put in the chat is. Oh, I'm sorry about the yawns today. Secondly, I'm going to put in the chat is a link to the PDF version of the story that you can use to get caught up as well. If you prefer actually reading and following along, seeing it rather than just listening to the audiobook, you can use the PDF copy, or you can do both. You can read and listen along at the same time, whatever works best for you. Okay. But know that those 2 links can will help you get caught up. Okay. If you would like me to email those to you, if that works better, please let me know that in the chat or give me a shout. I will also be putting them up on Summit under the announcement tab. Okay. So then, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to be working on for the rest of this morning is getting caught up on all of those things, having the Nearpod questions finished, checkpoint 1, and then I should also have gotten your family tree from you already as well. So if I don't have that, that is late as well. So
what's the family tree?
So the family tree,
Is
Jair,
that like the first thing?
you might have joined us after that, yeah. So you and I will talk. You and I can talk separately about that, since I know we did that after
What time?
you joined it. I'll just message you in the chat privately.
Okay.
All right, no worries. All right. So again, rest of the time this morning is yours to get caught up on whatever you need to get caught up on. I will leave my screen shared up here for another few minutes if you want to copy down some of my kind of examples or starters here to help you with your checkpoint. And then I will check back in periodically, okay? I'm going to check in periodically in Summit to see how you guys are doing with this. If I see that you guys are working on this and getting some stuff done, then maybe we will get out of here a little bit early this morning. If not, if I see it's dragging along, then we will be in here for the whole time. Okay. But that is the plan for the rest of today, so y'all can get to it, and I will check back in a few. All right. Thank you guys. Good job.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Yasmaya, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me double check. Yes, you are in the right place. Awesome. All right, so Yasmaya, we are, as you can see by my screen share here, we are working on checkpoint one on Summit. I will double check that you have been assigned, but that is kind of where we are today. Now, I know you are probably a little bit behind. So the best place for you to go might be to watch some of the class recordings on the Yes Philly YouTube channel and kind of see what we've been doing in there and get caught up that way. And then if you have questions, please let me know. But I
Okay.
will check right now that you are assigned in Summit.
Can you mark me present?
I definitely can. I already did. Right. Yeah, I don't see you on my list in Summit, yes, so I'm going to put the code for our class, creative writing. I want to put that in the chat to you so you can register on Summit so that I can assign you the checkpoint and all of the other stuff that we've done so far. And like I said, in the meantime, uh, the class recordings on YouTube are a really good place to get caught up. And if you also want some more one-on-one help, I will be in the Summit Lab today from 1 to 3. Right? So I'm going to put this in the chat to you now. This is the code to get registered on Summit for our class. Right. And if you have any other questions, let me know, but I have marked you here for today. Right. The rest of us, ladies and gents, again, should be working on checkpoint one or catching up on any of the other stuff that we still need. All right, here is that checkpoint again with the stuff you can copy down on yours to get started. I'll leave it up here for about another minute or two. All right, and again, any questions on this while you're working, just give me a shout. I'll be checking in periodically here. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna check in here on everybody's summit, see kind of how things are going. And if you're not started on the checkpoint, that's okay, but that means you should be working on the Nearpod, um, or getting caught up um, on something else that you're behind on. If you are having trouble, if you're a little bit lost, you can let me know in the chat privately. We could do a quick breakout room, and kind of get caught up that way too. If that will help, just let me know. All right, but good job. Keep up.
Yo, phone up. What we supposed to be doing?
Did you hear any of the instructions I gave over the last 20 minutes?
No, I'm gonna keep the Benji. My laptop's in my basement.
Okay. You are working on
That's the deal, bro.
you're working on checkpoint 1 on Summit. If none of checkpoint 1 makes sense to you, then that should tell you that you still have to get caught up on reading the first
All right,
section.
I got you, fo.
Right? If none of checkpoint 1 makes sense to you, then that should tell you that you have to get caught up on reading the first section of the story, which you can find in the links that I have put in the chat. All right, to the Nearpod or to the PDF. All right. Hey, Naya, thank you for
Hey, good morning.
joining us. Let me mark you on my attendance here. All right, ladies and gents, those of you who have been with us, I'm just checking back in. I was perusing your checkpoints on Summit. Didn't see a lot of action on there, but if you are still getting caught up on finishing the first section of the story, then that's okay. Or if you are, not at your laptop this morning yet, that's fine. But do know that this should be done by the time that we come back from break, all right? Which means like when we come back from break and have our first class, it's done. Not like we're gonna come back and then have time to finish it, all right? So just keep that in mind, all right? And again, the links to the Nearpod video with questions and the PDF version of the story, those are both in the chat. Those of you who have joined us late or have not been in class a lot, I would recommend the first place to go to get caught up would be watching the YouTube videos of the class recordings on the S Philly channel. So then you can see kind of what we've been talking about, how we've been filling things out, etc. And then after that, if you still have questions on what to do, you can let me know. We can do one-on-one. You can come to the Summit Lab, whatever you need, okay? But just wanted to check back in, give everybody a heads up on kind of my expectations for this as well, all right? Questions from anybody about anything, about the checkpoint, about where to find the checkpoint?
Checkpoint, G1.
Say it one more time, Tessie. Are you asking which checkpoint it is?
No, bro. I already know what checkpoint it is, bro.
Okay. Just making sure.
Fucking cut.
All right. Any other questions? All right, then I will check back in about another 10 minutes and we'll kind of wrap up here for this morning. And that'll be that. All right. So keep up the good work. Good job. And if anything does pop up, if you have a question, put it in the chat or just give me a shout. All right. Thank you guys. Hey, Deja, good morning to you. Thank you for logging on. Let me mark you here.
Good morning.
So Deja, what we are doing right now is just working on just kind of getting caught up on work. So that means checkpoint 1 on Summit. If you are also still behind in our story Homegoing and you haven't read the first section, you should do that first. You can do that either at the Nearpod link, which I'll put in the chat again for everybody because we had some people join a little bit later. All right. So the Nearpod is there. This is the code. All right. And here is the PDF version of the story. So you can get caught up with those first, then work on the checkpoint. I should also have your family tree by now. If I don't, I need that. Best place if you have the best place I would send people who are trying to get caught up first is to watch the class recordings on the YouTube channel, on the Yes Philly YouTube channel. And then if you still have questions, come to the Summit Lab or shoot me an email. And we can try to help you get caught up from there. Okay. That's pretty much the gist. All right, ladies and gents, about another 5 minutes, and then we will check back in with everybody and wrap up. Hopefully, we are still working on either the checkpoint or the Nearpod, working to get caught up. And again, I will be, checking Summit for these probably at the end of the day today. So I will update your color accordingly. Now, that doesn't mean it won't change if you finish it over the break. As I check periodically, there's no guarantees that I'll update it over the break, but I will try and check periodically. Okay. But even if you don't finish it, if you can at least get the checkpoint started by filling in the examples that I had up there on my screen, and I can put those up again if you want for the last 5 minutes here. Then
Mr. V,
I can at least give you mark you guys yellow. What's up, Deja?
it's only one checkpoint in your creative writing class.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one we're working on.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay, so what other stuff do I need to work on before that?
I will put it in the chat for you, Deja. How about that? Excuse me. All right, ladies and gents. Okay, so to wrap up, what should I have completed to be all caught up in this class? You should have your family tree sent in to me. That has already been due, so that's definitely something that you should have in. Okay. Family tree, you should have the Nearpod questions answered. You can answer them right in Nearpod. If Nearpod is not working for you or you're having trouble for some reason, please let me know, and then we can figure something else out. Okay. And then you should have a checkpoint 1, the first chapter in checkpoint 1 finished. So the section for EFIA that we have gone over the last 2 classes. All right. That's what I should have from you. That's what I'm going to be looking for you to have done when we come, by the time we come back from break. And like I said, I'm going to be updating Summit periodically, and I'll put all of that in a reminder on the announcements page. Okay. If you don't know where to start, if you're a little bit behind, I would say watch the class recordings on the YouTube channel, and then start with the Nearpod. Okay. And then get caught up from there. If you have questions, you can shoot me an email. All right. Are there questions on anything that we've done? All right. All right, ladies and gents. Well, then before we go, I want you to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a yes or a no in the chat that you understand what you need to have done and completed to be caught up by the time we come back from break. Right? So thumbs up means yes, I know what we need to do. I'll be good to go. Thumbs down means no, I might need a little help. Maybe I need to come to the Summit Lab or shoot you an email. All right. Salima, thank you. We come back on January 4th, which is, I believe, a Monday. So just log into your regular Monday.
I still gotta do the family tree thing too.
All right. Yep, no worries. You can send it to me whenever. All right. Like
That's
I
like
said,
the first thing on the summit.
say it again, Jair.
Is it the first thing on the summit?
No,
Yeah.
so the checkpoint 1 that I had up on my screen, that's the first checkpoint you'll see on Summit. But if you click on that checkpoint and you scroll down, you'll see that entry event note taker that I mentioned to you in the chat. And that's where you can fill in the info for your family tree, right? And I also shared with you the PowerPoint that we used. So you can
Let me screenshot this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of you from first period, again, please give me a thumbs up or a yes if you understand what you need to have done before when we come back from break. When I see that from you in the chat, then you are good to go. All right, please have a safe and healthy break. Stay safe. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. Happy holidays, and I will see you when we return. All right.
All right.
All right. Really good job. See you guys.